Hello, welcome to the Wednesday Grind, everyone. I'm so pumped. Today with us, we have Essence, who is a TikTok shop seller who went from 0 to 10K in 22 days. She's going to be telling us all about that incredible story, strategies in case you want to get started, and we'll go ahead and jump right into the grind. Welcome, Essence. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your story. Well, really quickly before we jump into that, if you are here live, throw an emoji, the fire emoji down below in the comments. Let us know you're here live, and tell us where you're tuning in from. So that's always exciting. We get people from all around the world. I enjoy displaying the comments as well. So any questions that you have, feel free to ask those as we go along, and you might get a chance to be featured right on screen. All right. Before that, welcome, Essence. We're going to be going through Essence's story of how she got started with TikTok. Like, how did she find out about print on demand? How did she get started? Tell us about your incredible journey to 10K in 22 days. She's also going to be sharing with us strategies and the logistics of setting up a TikTok shop, what that looks like, just a little bit about that, and then some lessons and advice she has for new sellers who want to join TikTok shop and sell on TikTok shop. Also, make sure you stay until the end because she's going to be spilling the beans and really sharing with us some exclusive insider tips, some hot strategies that she hasn't shared anywhere else on how to grow and really be successful with print on demand on TikTok shop. So let's go ahead and jump in here. Really quickly, some comments here. Hello, Marianella.
Hi, hey guys, from New Jersey. Wow.
Hi, Marley. Hi from Florida. Hopefully you guys are nice and hot and sunny now. The last time we had a live, I think you guys had snow the last time we went live, which is insane.
So tired of the snow. So over it.
I am ready for spring. I am so ready for spring.
Yes.
Hello from Maryland. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from. Love to hear from you guys. And if you have any questions as we go along, ask those. We're going to do a live Q&A at the end. But feel free to ask as we go along. And when we get a chance, we'll answer those as well.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So tell us about your story, Essence. How did you get started on TikTok?
Well, I was a full-time grad student. I was working full-time and I was actually running a traditional e-commerce business. I was selling handmade products and I just did not have the bandwidth for all of that. So I knew I wanted to have a business, but I needed it to work for me a bit more. So I started researching, partial shout out to YouTube University, guys. But I found out about print on demand and the rest is history. If you guys aren't familiar with print on demand, it is a business model where you work with a third-party supplier that not only gives you your items, your inventory, but they also will fulfill your orders for you. So no packaging, no shipping, nothing like that. You get an order, and then you pay your supplier to fulfill it. They fulfill it, and that's it. So that's essentially what the print on demand business model looks like.
And then who do you use for your supplier?
I use
your platform.
Printify. Okay. Love Printify. They have such a robust catalog. They have so many products in just about every category. So they are a great place.
And if you don't know anything about print on demand, I do have a free starter guide in the description below. So why TikTok shop? Like why not Etsy or another marketplace? Like how did you find out about TikTok shop? Like tell us a little bit more about the beginning of that.
So I was just a TikTok consumer. So I'm scrolling on TikTok. I use TikTok and I began to see TikTok shop content. And I am a believer of getting into trends in the beginning because as you've seen, TikTok shop has grown so dramatically. So I got in it like a little bit after it started. And yeah, I mean, it just came from being a consumer of TikTok content and seeing how well TikTok shop was doing. And I was like, this is the way to go for sure.
Definitely. Did you already have experience selling online?
Yes. So like I said, I did have a e-commerce store already. I already had my own website. It was handmade products. So it was a Shopify website. So I had experience selling social media experience because of course for most businesses, you want to create a social media page for them, whether that be Instagram, TikTok, So I did have that experience.
Okay, cool. All right, so now let's get into a little bit more about how you were able to get to 10K in 22 days. So, what was the post, product, or moment that like changed everything for you? And like, what did you do differently that made this product or this like? Tell us about like how you went viral.
So, while I do think the product matters for sure, it was definitely the post. There was a post that went viral, and that was about it. That's how it went. Yeah.
So the post that went viral, was it like was it like you showing the product, or was it like a or was it a trending sound or a trending like approach to the video? Like what made that go viral?
Well, one, I went viral a few times before everything took off sales wise. I did work with a TikTok Shop affiliate, but before then, and even when working with affiliates, I did my research on my competitors and what type of content was doing well for them. And since I was selling a similar product, I like kind of superimposed that model onto my own ideas, and that's kind of how it went.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a really good strategy. Regardless of like what platform you're on, like if it's YouTube, if it's TikTok, whatever it is, even Etsy, it's taking the time to do your competitor research in your product category, in your niche category, and then studying what's working well for them. Like success always leaves clues, and just putting your own spin on it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, do not recreate the wheel. You really do not have to, especially on a
Mm-hmm.
place like TikTok Shop, for sure.
And a lot of people think that like competitors are a bad thing, but like honestly, the more competitors you have in some ways that are successful, like the more opportunities you have to be successful, because you can kind of like look to see like what's working for them, or like if in this case it's TikTok, what's working for them on TikTok, what type of content is going viral, what is their strategy, what are their products that are doing well, and you can kind of get ideas from that. So your competitors actually are really helpful for you, because you don't have to remake the wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So next question. So tell us about that moment, like when you realized, like, oh my goodness, I made 10K in 22 days. Like, what was that like?
It was amazing, but I stalked my Shopify dashboard, so I already knew that I hit those numbers. But it really hit me when I looked at the number of orders I had. I'm like, oh my gosh, that created that. Wow, and but I knew the ka-chings, how Shopify does the ka-ching when you get an
Okay.
order.
Oh, it does. So like Etsy does. Because
Yeah,
Etsy does a ka-ching too. Ooh,
the
that's cool. I didn't
ka-ching,
know that.
ka-chings literally woke me up out of my sleep one morning. I'm like, oh wow, what's this? So that was the moment, and it was
Okay.
very good because I knew at that point I'm like, I'm doing something right, and all I gotta do is keep doing this, and I can
Mhm.
continue to create those results for myself. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's exciting. How long did it take to get like your first sale on TikTok Shop? Like when you launched your shop, like how long did it take to get your first sale?
It took about 9 days because
Okay.
when I was ready to launch, I hit the ground running. I'm like,
Okay.
content. First I was making my own content.
Mhm.
I was trying to collaborate a little bit, but didn't
Mhm.
really it wasn't running at that point yet. So yeah, I hit the ground running, so it took me 9 days.
Okay, but that's actually really good. Like for your first like launching your product on a new platform, because on Etsy, it varies for everybody. Some people get lucky and they get a sale like their first day, but other people like it takes a month or longer. Like it took me a few weeks to get my first organic sale. So that's incredible. And like you didn't have to even launch a ton of products, right?
No, you do not have to launch a ton of products. Definitely, I mean, I have the ratio from products I have active to inactive is very different. Like I have a lot of inactive products because I've tested some things and some
Hmm.
things I just turn off. I only
Okay.
want the best things. It's not like I know sometimes with Etsy it's more volume based. So you wanted to have a lot of listings. I
Hmm.
will just turn off the listings that are not performing or, no. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that makes sense. So, do you need a lot of followers to, do well on TikTok Shop? Like, do you need to have a huge following to make money?
No, you do not. And that's why I'm just like, TikTok is really great because the virality of the TikTok shop algorithm, it's easier to go viral than other platforms. So you can reach a larger audience regardless of the following, like easier,
Mhm.
So it works out that way.
Yep. Whenever I first got into TikTok, it took me about a month to go viral. But once you you figure it out, like how to create good content that like people are going to watch and like what that's more likely to go viral, like it will keep happening to you more often.
Yes.
And it's incredible. There's no kind of engine like TikTok. There really isn't, as far as like the ability to go viral.
Yes, and that's what is the best thing, because I know a lot of times if you have used ads before or something, you're paying for reach, you're paying for those impressions to reach that audience. Whereas on TikTok Shop, or TikTok rather, you can just reach that audience with your content. You can do numbers. People are reaching millions, so
Mhm.
that's a great way to do it.
So do you have to have a certain number of followers on TikTok to join TikTok Shop, or can just like anyone launch a little print on demand shop on TikTok?
So for TikTok Shop, it is not follower based, because you have a seller center, like a business
Mhm.
center, which has all, it's like your platform that you have your products on.
Okay.
So and then you attach a TikTok profile to it. So there's no following need. You just apply with either as an individual with your business information, and that's how you get in.
Okay. So my next question is like, how often do you recommend posting then?
Hmm. Well, I was posting organically about 2 to 3 times per day at first. Like I told you guys, I hit the ground running. I wanted to test and see what times a day. Like I was posting, if I post 3 days, 3 times a day, I was posting morning, afternoon, and evening, because I wanted to test out when I had the best engagement
Mhm.
from just TikTok Shop in general. So that's how I started,
Mhm.
2 to 3 times. Yeah.
So is your content focused on the product, or is it like a niche and then you're like creating content it, around that niche and then you're promoting like intermittently? Or is like all of your videos about your products?
All the videos are about my products.
Okay.
Yeah. In one shape, in one form or another, it all leads back to the products. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So are they like tutorials? Are you like hitting pain points in the videos, or are they like a fun like you're just showing it off? Or are they faceless? Like are you in the videos?
For one, they are faceless, and I can definitely
Oh,
explain
okay.
that more when I spill the beans.
Okay.
But I'll say that the type of content or the format matters. So you definitely want to have a good hook. A controversial hook works the best. Just
Okay.
saying, like a body that raves about the product, and then you want
Mhm.
to have a great call to action to lead your audience back to like, hey, this is still an ad for you to shop. So yeah, come shop. So
Okay.
with a
All
promotion
right.
or something for sure. Yeah.
So what is your best strategy for to try and get more sales or grow on TikTok? Is it just like being consistent and creating content, 2 to 3 times a day? Like what's your strategy for growing?
I would say definitely stick to the content body. I mean, the content strategy that I just mentioned, like that hook body call to action format is golden, because I
Mhm.
mean, even it's simple but effective. If you look at a lot of ads on TikTok, you'll see
Mhm.
that they're in some way or another using that same format. For example, you'll see someone say, "Why is nobody talking about?" And then they'll say, "Oh, this product is great. It's doing this. It's amazing." People ask me where I get it from, and they're like, "Oh, there's a sale in the TikTok shop happening right now. Go get it." So,
Okay.
yeah, that just
Okay,
stick to
cool.
that strategy. And definitely when you start out, definitely start out posting 2 to 3 times a day. But you really don't have to do that, and I'll
Mhm.
explain that to you.
And how long does it take you to make a TikTok video? Like in general, can you make it in just a few minutes? Does it take a half an hour? Like, what kind of commitment would if someone wanted to do two pieces of content on TikTok? What would that look like? And can you batch it? Because that sounds like like to me, it sounds intimidating to be like, create two, 3 pieces of content a day. Like that sounds overwhelming. Like, what kind of time commitment? How fast can you make them? Can you bulk create them?
You can definitely bulk create them for sure. I
Okay.
first of all, I recommend that, because like I said, when I started, I was in school and I was
Hmm.
working. I didn't have all that time, so I did have to batch. So you just take a day and you create several different videos that you want to make for the week.
Hmm.
Most of it is believe it or not, most of the work is the content research portion where you're looking at what's trending, what type of videos you want to emulate, what trending sounds. You're saving sounds throughout the week to like use with content. And now's the time to just film those. It depends on how comfortable you are with filming at first to see how long it's going to take to actually film it. But most of it is the content research portion. You take a day, you film out as many for the week as you want to post, and then you put them in your drafts, and then you post them every day.
Okay, cool. Okay,
yeah.
that sounds less intimidating to me.
Yeah.
Myself, when I first started TikTok, my first TikTok probably took me like an hour. It was like, took me forever. But once I started getting used to it, it would only take me a couple minutes because I knew what I was doing. You know what I mean? So like initially it's intimidating. And like full disclosure, I haven't sold on TikTok shop before. I'm just like a TikTok content creator. And so I have that experience, but it's just like listing on Etsy for an Etsy seller. Like your first listing takes forever, but then like by the time you get to your 100th listing, like you can whip them out in like 20 minutes, depending on what the listing is. And so it's kind of like that same idea where it gets faster. Okay, so tell us a little bit about ads and like running ads. Was that part of your strategy for success? Should you do it in the beginning? Like, what does that look like?
Pardon me. So I did both. So at first, I originally started with organic content. Right.
Okay.
And then I dabbled with ads a bit just to test out different products. But all of my sales came from organic content, whether it was me promoting it or a TikTok shop affiliate promoting it. So it was all organic. I just use ads to kind of like test out what products were working at first. But you definitely want to start with organic and then scale with ads. That's always the goal because you don't want to waste money on ads promoting something that you don't even know if anybody wants. So if you have a lot of engagement or you have a post that's performing well for that product, then you go along with ads to scale the progress that you're already making.
So tell us a little bit more about the affiliate center and like how this plays a piece in your success.
Yeah, so every TikTok Shop seller account, every TikTok Shop account has a TikTok affiliate center. So you're connected to it. So I don't know if you're on TikTok already, but you'll see people trying to get invited to the TikTok Shop affiliate center, accepted so they can review products and get paid. So you are the other side of that. You are the one that's hiring them. So you can go into your affiliate center and you can look at different creators. You can use filters to find the ones that are, just had recent work or have this amount of following or had this much sales volume for the past month or 90 days or however you want your filters to go. And you can choose to work with them. You can invite them, or you can just put your products out there so that affiliates that see it can apply. So you have those options, but it's awesome.
Okay, cool. So like you basically have a built-in hub to work with influencers.
Yes.
You're not having to like cold call them because they're coming there to you. Exactly. That really is amazing. Especially if you have a very like a niche product or a very niche shop. What an amazing way to really have access to influencers who want to work with you. So that segues us to the next segment where I want to talk a little bit about TikTok shop business logistics. So if I have a funny mug, I have a funny Mother's Day mug, maybe it has a sarcastic Mother's Day saying. Like I think last year the big one that was viral on TikTok was light this when I'm on your last nerve, or like oh, I think I know what it was. It was smells like I'm on your last nerve, and it like went crazy on TikTok. Okay. Who sellers were getting tons of purchases on that specific product. So if I have a sarcastic candle, I want to sell on TikTok Shop that I think would perform well, like what would I do first?
So first you would create obviously your product listing, launch it. Make sure you use your Etsy knowledge, if you're already from Etsy, to use those keywords, make it, great SEO content in your product listing, because people also search for products as well. But then I would start with an open collaboration. That's the one where I mentioned where people find you. They look for products and they find you. So you can start to get requests for that. also scout out different creators. Specifically for something sarcastic and funny, I would look
Mm-hmm.
for affiliates that have a lot of personality, maybe
Okay.
do comedic content or skits or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would
Okay.
I would start there. I would find them, search on TikTok Shop, make sure they're a creator. Then I would send out a targeted collaboration. Target is when you go out for them. Open is when they come to you. So I
Okay.
would reach out to the ones that I really wanted to work with, but then I would also have an open collaboration so I could also start getting those requests. And then once you get those requests, you filter through them, you look at their stats, you make sure they're a good candidate, and then you go from there. And I don't want to give too many details because I don't want to confuse you guys if you guys are
Mm-hmm.
still new. But
Mm-hmm.
once you start working with them, you send them a sample, they create
Mm-hmm.
content in your item, and
Mm-hmm.
then then you go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what is the biggest challenge selling on TikTok?
The biggest challenge. Originally, it was shipping times because,
Oh, okay.
originally it was shipping times. But a great thing that Printify did was they created a TikTok ready part of their catalog. So that cut that out completely.
Okay.
I also would say that you do need to start out with like a bit of seed capital because unlike Shopify, which what I was used to, getting paid out like every 1 to 3 days, at
Mm-hmm.
first TikTok Shop holds your funds for 14 days
Okay.
starting out. So, and then they lower it as like once you start fulfilling your orders and stuff, like after that first payout and they see your logistics scores and stuff, they continuously lower the time that it takes to get paid out. So don't
Oh,
worry, it's
okay.
not going to always be. It's like it's incentivized for you to keep a
Okay.
good standing with TikTok, and then they will lower it.
Okay.
You,
So it's
yeah,
kind of like even like Etsy has like a probation period for
yeah,
new
you can have a
sellers. So it's
shop.
kind of like that. Okay.
Yes,
Interesting.
you have a shop health rating, and
Mm-hmm.
there's different things packaged in there, logistics, reviews, cancellation rates, and things like that. And as long as you keep good logistics and you're good, then it
Mm-hmm.
will continuously incentivize you and lower the time it takes to get paid out. But for that, I would say you want to start out with some type of seed capital if you're starting with TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
to do that. Yeah.
Okay. And like, how do returns work and refunds, difficult customers? Like, tell us a little bit more about that aspect.
Yeah, so the customer's always right. I mean, literally with TikTok, the customer is always right. Like TikTok
Okay.
will always honor the return unless, you can appeal afterwards with proof and
Mm-hmm.
receipts and pictures if you have them,
Mm-hmm.
but they are going to refund the customer. So TikTok is
Okay.
pretty strict with that because they want to let people know that you're safe buying here.
Okay.
For difficult customers, I would say to communicate with them as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Most times you just want to refund them, honestly, because
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to get penalized for negative review rates. That does affect
Mm-hmm.
your shop health. For negative reviews, which are inevitable, just
Mm-hmm.
respond courteously. Thank you for your feedback. It helps us continue to improve the experience for our customers. Whatever, just keep it
Mm-hmm.
kind and, um, give them good feedback. And
Okay, cool.
yeah.
So but overall, like, is that pretty few and far between with your orders, like refunds?
Yeah, for sure. I always would say, I mean, as per on demand sellers, we know that you want to order a sample of your product, or you want to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that the image quality is right and all that, so you can mitigate them that way.
Okay.
But sometimes it's just inevitable. TikTok Shop is a social media platform at the end of the day, so sometimes
Mm-hmm.
they're inevitable.
Absolutely. No, I mean, even at Etsy, you get
Yeah,
some refunds, but I would say like the order to refund ratio is very low. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's You do get them because it's like, you're running a business and people want to return and stuff.
yeah,
But for overall for my shop, it's pretty low.
yeah.
Um, and Printify does a really good job with their quality control, like
Yes.
personally.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, if
Hmm.
it's if you're having a lot of refunds and returns, then it's probably like a quality issue. But
Hmm.
we do quality is so great with Printify. They make sure they
Hmm.
check their suppliers. So yeah.
So, some lessons and advice for new sellers. So, make sure you guys are sticking around for the spill the beans portion where she's going to give us some really amazing insider tips. But what is your advice and lessons for new sellers? So, what would you do differently if you were starting all over again today?
The only thing that I would start, the only thing that I would do differently, really, because I'm an overthinker. I made sure I tried to do everything as, good as possible. But one thing I did was I thought that if I worked with influencers that would like boost my sales. So, because influencers are different from affiliates. Influencers
Okay.
are not TikTok shop affiliates.
Okay.
Influencers, you pay them up front. Affiliates, you pay them when you get an order.
Oh,
They make commission.
okay.
But influencers, they like if you're hiring Kylie Jenner, like you're going to have to
Uh-huh.
pay her up front before she makes that post, right?
Okay.
So I wouldn't work with influencers too early on. I really
Hmm.
was trying to get that reach.
Hmm.
It wasn't as effective, and the money that I spent on an influencer could have been used to run ads for organic content that was performing well for me and
Hmm.
affiliate content. So don't think you have to work with an affiliate because when starting out, you're doing organic content.
Hmm.
You might not be getting that immediate reach that you want. And you're like,
Sure.
oh, why is it not going? And so you're like, oh, let me collaborate with someone who has a large audience. Let me get them immediately. You don't have to do that. Just yeah, that's
Okay.
what.
So next, share with us your top 3 action steps for someone listing who wants to make their first sale on TikTok Shop.
You want to make your first sale. I would say double check to make sure you relate your content to product designs and trending products in some type of way.
Okay.
I would say create organic content based off of viral content in your niche. And then I would say collaborate. You always want to collaborate with affiliates. You want to use the features that are built into TikTok Shop because they're built to work. So, especially as a new seller, they can really help you get that credibility that you need from using someone else's warm audience to help you get out there.
Okay. So
Yeah.
really quickly, if you guys are getting some value from this, feel free to give us a like and subscribe so you guys don't miss future videos in the future and future lives. I interview someone new almost every week. And then on the 4th week, I tend to do workshops. Next week, I'm either going to do a trend workshop or an SEO workshop. I haven't decided which one yet. Make sure you guys do that for us. Spill the beans, guys. This is my favorite segment. Tell us, share with us, Essence, was your biggest fail? So what was one TikTok Shop mistake that you made that really cost you like time or money? And I think you might have already just went into it.
I kind of went into it, but I'm going to go into it a bit deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, it was choosing products based off of what I wanted to sell versus what was trending or already selling. If a product that you want to sell is not currently selling, don't sell it. You don't want to be emotionally attached to your product choice or your design
Mm-hmm.
choice. Of course, you can always keep it in your shop, but it shouldn't be the one that you are, promoting the most.
Okay. So like once again, going back to that example of a funny mug, or a funny mug for dads or something. How do I know it's viral with funny mugs for dads? Like what do I do to like even know like what kind of content we should be creating?
So I
How do you do product research?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep it simple. I go into TikTok Shop. I start in just the TikTok search bar in general. I go
Okay.
into my TikTok profile and I will search mugs, funny mugs out. I can get more specific, but I might start with like funny mugs, quote mugs, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll look and see what's doing well there. And
Okay.
then I will use my filters. I'll filter for like maybe the past month, the past 2 months, 3 months to see like what has recently been
Okay.
doing well. And when I find those posts, I'll go into the comments. I'll look and see what the engagement is like. Are they bots? Are they people that are really
Mm-hmm.
saying like, "Wow, here goes TikTok taking my money again. I've been
Uh-huh.
influenced. I want this. I need this. You guys sold out.
Mm-hmm.
And I look and see like, do people really want this? And
Mm-hmm.
that's how it lets me know whether it's a good candidate or not just the views, because views doesn't always equal sales. um,
Mm-hmm.
I went viral myself starting out, but it didn't equate to as much sales as it did when I was doing the right things and went viral with the right product, with the right content in the video. That's why I said the content format is everything earlier.
Okay.
So yeah, so you want to make sure the engagement is all there on top of the views.
Okay. And a strong call to action and stuff. Okay, secret sauce. What's one crazy good strategy you haven't shared before that helps you scale fast on TikTok Shop?
Um, when you choose products, you want to choose products that have social appeal. A lot of
Okay.
content can be made around it. You don't because content is key to selling in high volume, right? You have to have people have to be able to make content around your product a lot in order for it to go viral. The most products that you see go
Okay.
viral on TikTok Shop, you'll see that there's a button every time you scroll, every time you like a post, there's another video, another video, another video, another video with people promoting it more. So
Mhm.
that's the first thing. Second is when you work with affiliates, definitely work with affiliates because your brand is going to need the social proof. You need
Okay.
social proof in order to sell. TikTok is a bandwagon, FOMO, impulse purchase type of platform. So
Mhm.
people will need to see that other people are buying your product in order for them to feel like they can purchase it. Does that make sense? Um, and another one part of the beans, like secret sauce, is that when you work with affiliates, you always want to provide them with briefs. A brief is just a quick document, but in that brief, you want to have examples of viral content examples in your niche because you want to give them
Okay.
a framework to shoot for. And
Mhm.
you also want to provide talking points in there so they can sell your product really well. Everybody doesn't just know, even influencers, they don't really know how to sell a product. There are people that have gotten a following or they've got accepted into the TikTok affiliate program, but they're just
Mhm.
regular people. They're not salespeople. So you do
Mhm.
have to give them some talking points, like make sure you're highlighting the benefits, these benefits of the product. And you want to give them a framework and examples for them to create the content for. Because when I did that with my affiliate, that's what I said in the beginning. It was the post, because the post itself was very strong. It had all the content that it needed inside. And once people saw it with that audience of people that already love that affiliate, it
Mhm.
took off.
Okay. Okay. So, what do you think is the future of TikTok Shop? And really quickly, I just while it's in my head, I am in a lot of mom groups. I cannot tell you the amount of moms who like when I like compliment them on like their T-shirt or their purse, whatever it is, like their kid's T-shirt, their kid's dress, like oh TikTok Shop, I got it from TikTok Shop. It really is popular. A lot of
Addictive.
sales are being driven from TikTok.
Yes, yes. Yep.
Yeah, even in my like small circle, like it really is like it has a cult following. People who just like they make a lot of impulse purchases on
Yeah.
TikTok Shop.
Even me. I mean, I'm a seller, but I have a cart full of of products that I want from TikTok Shop. So that's why I'm like, I know if me and my friends and people are buying, like it's a great place to be. It's a great
Mhm.
place to be.
If you're listening right now, make sure you're taking that poll. It's on the screen. I want to know, like, how are you guys feeling about TikTok Shop? So while you guys are taking that poll, what do you think is next for TikTok? Okay, Essence. Like, do you think this is going to keep growing? Like, what do you see in 2025 and beyond? Like, is this still like worth getting into?
Oh, for sure. I think it's worth getting into. I mean, hopefully it keeps that genuine vibe that it has now, that authentic vibe of
Mhm.
videos and just that native feel of the platform. But I see it competing more with the marketplaces like the
Mhm.
Amazons. It's already starting to
Mhm.
compete with Amazon, Etsy a little bit because it has
Mhm.
that social media aspect that some people would like.
Mhm.
Um, that's why I urge Etsy sellers to get in there now and set the tone with your quality knowledge and your product listing knowledge. You know how to create a product listing that ranks well, people can find and search and stuff. So,
Mhm.
definitely get out there. And, yeah, I'll leave it there. But
Okay.
that's where I see it going.
All right. So, final advice to someone who is on the fence about whether or not they should
Along
start
those
a TikTok shop.
lines. To someone that's on the fence, I would say, what's the worst thing that could happen if you try it? First off,
Hmm.
I would say that TikTok really is the leading social media platform out there, guys. They're competing with
Hmm.
major marketplaces. They're becoming even a leading search engine, right? With ChatGPT, people
Hmm.
are going to TikTok Shop to search for things, or TikTok in general, and
Hmm.
coming across TikTok Shop items.
Hmm.
You don't really have anything to lose, but you really do have everything to gain. I know that sounds cliche, but it's true. All I have to do is get on there, publish your products, create some content around it. If you like it, sure. If you don't, you know, leave. I mean, go back to Etsy.
Right.
It's
Hmm.
something to try for sure.
Hmm.
But it does have great great results.
So I like the idea of having diverse income streams. I think it's important. I think it's important to master one platform at a time. So like, take if you're already on Etsy, take the time to master that. But do consider other platforms. Like myself, I also sell on Merch by Amazon, where I sell my print-on-demand designs on Etsy, and then I repurpose those designs for Amazon, and I get a lot of sales there too. And it's just like a way to like double down on like my designs. So this would just be another platform to take your designs that you're already selling on Etsy, you're already selling on Merch by Amazon, and putting it on another platform. And so, once again, you don't want to like thin yourself out too much, but it's also good to have like, a variety of income streams. And in case one stream, like something happens to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let us know, Essence, where can people find you at? I have your YouTube channel here. Where can people find you at? Tell us about what type of content you already create.
Right. So I'm really only on YouTube. I actually am looking to expand to Instagram and TikTok with my content. I'm in the process of repurposing everything, but my content is mainly e-commerce, so and specifically passive e-commerce business models. So whether it's print on demand, drop shipping on TikTok Shop, Shopify, all of that. I even have. Sorry, guys, my mouth is dry.
Mm-hmm.
But I even have content for digital products as well. Just everything e-commerce. That's me. So I can help you guys with all of that. I have a lot of resources.
Awesome. And then you are also on Printify Seller Club. You're a mentor there. That's where I met you. I'm a Printify mentor as well. Tell us a little bit about your content there. I know you have a couple of courses. Tell us about those.
Yeah, so I'm the TikTok Shop mentor in the Sellers Club, and I have several courses, other resources, but mostly courses. Everything from getting set up with TikTok Shop for your first time, sign up to publishing your first product. I have courses on marketing, whether that be organic, affiliate, influencer marketing. I have a course on TikTok Shop ads, TikTok ads. I have a lot of resources on there as far as courses. I also provide live Q&A sessions, so my mentees can ask me questions throughout the week, throughout their processes. I have feedback sessions where I give them feedback for their designs and product listings that they are thinking about publishing or have published. So I try to give as many resources as possible to people on there and really give access to my knowledge.
And if you haven't heard about Printify Sellers Club, you can try it for free. I have a link below, or just Google Printify Sellers Club, and you can try it for free for a week, and then it's just $5 a month. And there's so much value here. So and they have different types of mentors. So they have one for Shopify, they have one for Etsy, they have several for Etsy. We have Essence for TikTok. There's weekly lives, all types of different types of content and tips. Printify also provides like a trends space that you can follow, where they give like exclusive data, like trend data. That's just so you can make like really data driven decisions for your business. So it's an incredible place for it's like such a no brainer. Like if you sell print on demand, I don't know why you wouldn't want to be a part of it. So yeah, you can find Essence there as well. Alrighty, guys. Now it's time for our Q&A. What questions do you have for Essence about selling on TikTok Shop? Or even just like if you want to try and promote your Etsy business on TikTok Shop or just TikTok. Yeah. Obviously, you know a lot about TikTok. What questions do you have for her about this? And we can display your comments, so feel free to ask away.
Yeah.
Question I have is, it was earlier when we were talking. I should have written it down. I should have a notepad here. I guess my question is, if I was going to start today and I had, that mug in mind, I have a funny mug that I want to post. How long does it start? How long does it take to actually set up a TikTok shop? And how many products do you need?
So it's not long to set up your TikTok shop. Once you do the sign up process and your account gets approved, you're in. So after that, it's kind of like just creating your products on Printify, and you do have to integrate Printify with TikTok Shop. It is easy through the app. The only thing on top of the app that you would have to do to integrate your products is to make sure that you're putting the Printify warehouse as your shipping for your
Okay.
shipping settings. But other than that, you're fine. Now, in terms of products, I would say, I mean, even though I don't have that many products, I would say you probably would want to start out with like 10 and
Okay.
creating products around, each of them.
How many products did you have launched when you were making the 10K a month? Like when you first hit that first month when you hit 10K, like how many products did you have launched? And like, was it most of the sales from like a single product? Like, I'm just curious.
Most of my sales were from like 2 products. So I
Wow.
had 6 products in my store.
Mm-hmm.
So only 6, but I would say start
Mm-hmm.
out with 10 just because, I mean, even though it will be a little bit more for content, you still want to test out in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're
Test.
new, you want to test. Everything is
Mm-hmm.
testing at first,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
And that's so different from like running like Etsy or different types of platforms, because usually like Etsy, you need like at least 30 listings really to get like many views. The more experienced you are, and like if you have a strategy in mind, and you know how the SEO works, and adding value to what's trending and things like that, you can do it faster. But like in general, like for me, it took over 100 listings for me to really like gain traction and to like figure out what I was doing. And so for you to do it in like 4 to 10 products is pretty amazing. So
Yeah, I definitely use just a lot of competitor strategies at first and just
mm-hmm.
just did it and just created a ton of content in a short amount of time. But if you are like like a normal person, like you're not an overthinker, you're not just like crazy type A, I would say take your time, create your content consistently, and yeah, you'll reach that those sales. Yeah,
So
for
we have
sure.
a question here from Marlene. Where would we start if we are not familiar with TikTok at all? Like any recommendations for someone who is older? Is TikTok more for younger people? That kind of.
So there are different demographics for different platforms. For example, we know Etsy is at an older market than what TikTok is or what Instagram is. In terms of your audience, yes, it's different. But
Mm-hmm.
if you aren't familiar with TikTok, I would say the best way to start before you even get into TikTok Shop is become a consumer of TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Just make an account. Start to scroll, start to look at the content that's on there. Look at how, they're talking and what sounds they're using and the popular phrases, and just get a feel of the culture of TikTok. Because what I would say, TikTok is excelling so well because it has a different culture than
Mm-hmm.
the other platforms out there. It's very authentic, very genuine, very it's a bit more personal than Instagram or Facebook. So you definitely want to fill it out so you can see where you would go to start out. Well, to learn the platform in general, but then you understand like you can get in the mind of your consumer a bit more. So when you do start with TikTok and start to fill out the back end of that, then you can just be doing that. You aren't also worrying about your target audience at the same time.
Okay. And then I was going to ask you too a question earlier, and it already fell out of my brain. I already have like mom brain right now.
It's okay.
You had mentioned faceless content. Tell us a little bit more about that. So like, I think a lot of people are timid by the idea of creating, like talking to their camera and like trying to like, do I show my shirt? Like what is faceless content? And then like, do we need to be in the videos?
So faceless content in the literal sense, if you're doing organic content, you're kind of just creating content. If it's a flat lay, or if it's a nice like a presentation, or if it's even somebody else, but I don't really do like neck down stuff. When I say faceless, I mean like I have the product set up a certain way and I'm filming it that way. But the majority of the faceless content that I mean faceless is the affiliate content, because I don't have to film every day in order to have content every day. I have affiliates that are making that content, that those are the posts that are showing up for me, or those are the ads that I'm running for those posts. And it's not just me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. Like to just like have a little sales army like at your fingertips. That's
You
incredible.
want to build a team. That's why I said start organic, and then you want to scale. Work with more affiliates. Scale their content with ads. You want to do all of that.
And that's so different from Etsy because like with Etsy, like unless you personally hire a team, like or you're looking for influencers and stuff, you know what I mean? Like it's you, like you're the one who has to do all the like grit work, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
So that's kind of incredible that it, like basically you have a built-in team. Like you have to search for it, you know, and build it. But it's already there for you, which is
yeah.
incredible.
It's very unique from other
Mhm.
platforms. That's why I'm saying like you have the resources there for sure.
Well, thank you so much, Essence. It was incredible. I personally do have a little bit of FOMO now. I'm like, ooh, should I selling on TikTok Shop too? Because I'm big on Etsy, and then I do also sell on merch by Amazon. But now I'm like tempted. It's very tempting because it's an incredible. I think it's an incredible opportunity, and it's lower competition, in some ways. So well, thanks for sharing with us all these insights. Make sure you check out Essence Ray on YouTube. She has tons of content there all about TikTok, walks you through how to do it. And then you can also find her in the Sellers Club. So thanks, guys. And by the way, next week, I almost forgot to tell you guys, next up in 2 weeks, I'm going to be hosting Lindsay. She is an Etsy coach from Everbee. We're going to be talking all about SEO, trending products. So make sure you guys are there to check that out and to pick her brain on SEO, any types of SEO questions that you guys have. She's so knowledgeable. And then just so you guys know, we are now available. You can listen to the Wednesday Grind on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. So check us out there. I also have links in the description if you want to find us there. Make sure you guys check out our recent replays as well. Last week I did a video with Technically Trent, and we talked about AI trends. It was so good. He showed us different types of AI hacks, AI mockup hacks, like just incredible tips, prompt tips. So writing AI prompts. So if you're interested in anything about AI, make sure you guys watch that. It's super incredible. So I've gotten to speak to a lot of successful sellers on Etsy. So make sure you guys check those out. All right, guys, I'll see you guys next week. I haven't decided yet for sure. I'm either going to talk about spring Etsy trends or SEO. So I haven't decided which one I'm going to talk about. So if you have a preference and you're watching the replay, let us know in the comments. And I'll see you guys next week at 1:00.
All right.
You are welcome, Marlene. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in,
You're
guys.
so welcome.